Hey ladies, happy Thursday and welcome to VLX TV and welcome to our new house. So currently the baby is sleeping downstairs and I am in the master bedroom, which is ginormous. You can see all of the mess back there, piles and piles, and it includes the baby's room. So we're going to sleep here and Juliet is probably going to sleep with me half the time, to be honest, but is going to try to sleep on her own mattress on the floor back there. We shall see. But I cannot wait to give you guys more of a tour when everything is set up. But I want to talk this week about how to move with ease and grace. So most of you might know, if you've been watching these videos, that we have been in the process of a huge military move from New Orleans, where we lived for almost 3 years and had Juliet and had a great friend base and just all kinds of exciting things happened, back to my hometown area-ish of Virginia. I'm from Maryland originally, so this is my hood, Northern Virginia, where my husband and I met and dated and where I used to work and go to school, so it feels amazing to be back. But it was a big move. It was a huge move. And not only was it a move after having lived somewhere for 3 years, which is a very long time for us. We usually move about once a year. But it was a move with a toddler and all of the stuff back there that comes with having a child. And it was a fast move. So usually I have more downtime between moves. There's just, for whatever reason, there's more of a pause between David's assignments. And, I'll go live with my parents for a couple weeks or we'll travel. And it feels like there's more time to process what's going on. But, this time, in under a week, I went from set up completely in New Orleans in our apartment to now, definitely not set up completely, but all of our stuff out of boxes, furniture assembled, different rooms, tasks kind of assigned here in Belmont Bay in Virginia. And oh my gosh, it has been a ton. It has been quite a bit to process through. I definitely haven't yet already fully processed it, but it's been amazing. And I actually have a few things to say about how to move with ease and grace. Now, a lot of people don't like moving, and it's very stereotypical that military wives, the moves are very irritating. Shockingly, I actually love the process of moving. It's kind of hilarious. Now, maybe that's because I've never had to leave like a dream home or something. But just the concept of a fresh start, of being forced to examine all of my belongings and get rid of things and figure out then how to arrange them in a new place and just have this blank canvas to play with and this palette to kind of paint all over in a way, it really gets me excited. And I think I also love kind of being able to just disappear from one world that I've been a part of and appear in a new world where no one knows me and figure out, okay, how do I want to be a new person here? How do I want to grow? How do I want to be just differently? And I can establish new habits without people ever even noticing that I did. It's just a chance for a kind of a rebirth and a rediscovery of yourself and all those fun, exciting words. So it's been a blast, but I want to give you guys a couple tips. I know many of you who are close to me, a lot of my clients are in moving and transition phases. So really exciting and kind of interesting that we're going through this at the same time together. So a couple of my tips. One thing that I did not used to always do well, and I'm not sure why. I think growing up that there was just this kind of awkwardness around saying goodbye to people, so we'd kind of just slip away. And I never really left well when we would leave a place, when we'd move from a place. I did a decent job sometimes of seeing a couple friends, but often we would just suddenly disappear. And people wouldn't even know that we'd moved from that area or that house or whatever. We would just be gone. Hey, Lauren. And I decided this time that I wanted to leave well. So that's my first part of moving with ease and grace. It's knowing that I want to wrap up relationships well. I want to leave with having made a positive influence, positive difference in certain people's lives who were good to me, and really feel like I left the area. Good to see you too. I know, I miss you. Really left the area well. So what I did in New Orleans to leave well is we had a great group of friends and we gave ourselves a going away party and tried to see as many people as we left, and the people who couldn't, as many people as we could. And whoever couldn't make it, we tried to meet up with individually and just kind of have some last hangout times and good conversations, kind of reflect on what we'd done together and give them kind of just prayers and blessings over the rest of what's coming ahead of them. hopefully we'll see them again, but possibly we might not. So we really wanted to wrap up well. So we intentionally set aside time to meet with people and hang out with people who we've loved and who've been close to us, and really kind of love on them and be loved on by them. And they prayed for us. It was really cool. Then another silly kind of thing, because that might be kind of obvious, is I told all of the different service providers, where I get my lashes done and my massage place and all that kind of stuff, that we were leaving, and certain favorite restaurants where we had frequented and they kind of recognized us. I told them, my husband and I told them we were leaving. And, one, we just gave them a heads up, and it might have seemed like, well, why do they care? But it's kind of nice to just feel like you're sharing your life with someone and let them feel like they played an important role in it too, important enough that you would mention a transition and a change in your life to them, and let them know how meaningful they were to you. So I really told the people who had helped me in all kinds of various ways, even the people who I was paying to help me, that I had appreciated them and I had loved getting to know them and kind of, watching them grow. And the story of my girl who did my lashes there, as silly as that might be, is she started in this like tiny little, really tiny little office building room, really in a kind of sketchy area. And then she grew into her own beautiful kind of townhouse right on one of the main streets in New Orleans. It was gorgeous and airy and everything. And so I just told them, it's been amazing to watch your journey and be part of it. And I'm going to miss you and I appreciate you. So that was part of it. But also realize, what helps service providers is great reviews. So I made sure, and there's a couple that I still have left to do, that I just noted the restaurants we loved, the coffee shops, all those places that I'd gone for girly stuff and stores, and I left them good reviews. And sometimes when I knew them personally, like my lovely lash stylist, whose name is Angelique, I asked her, where can I best help you? Where can I leave a review that would help you? And she's like, oh my gosh, Yelp. Somebody, was angry at us or whatever, and now we need a really good Yelp review to balance it out. And so I left some great reviews, and just like, that's what really helps these people who have businesses like that, is to let other people know that they're awesome and that you recommend them and why you had such a great experience and whatever. And so I intentionally did that. I also went out of my way to hunt down our regular UPS guy and our grocery delivery guy, and I gave them a thank you card with a great big tip in there and just said, we are so grateful for your trustworthiness and your great service, and we just pray that God blesses you and your family, and we're so, lucky to have been served by you and known you and everything else, good luck and God bless, that kind of thing. And they were flabbergasted, it was like really cool to see how touched they were, and I felt like I finished it well. So that's the first thing I would say, is to really kind of touch base, and it takes almost a month, honestly, to really make sure you reach out to everybody who meant something to you and let them know and kind of love back on them in a way that is most beneficial for them. And in the same way, I just lost my train of thought. In the same way, here we go. I visited the places that I love. So Juliet and I went to our favorite little macaroon shop, and we went to our favorite, branch of La Madeleine, and David and I went to our favorite coffee shop, and we did our last family walk in this place, and we kind of had a bucket list of what we wanted to either do for the first time or do again in a place that we had loved and that meant a lot of, was really special to us, really meant a lot to us. So we finished as well as we could. And then what was the next part? Well, the next part was the actual move. And here's what I have to say about moving. We have done, I was counting with my mother-in-law, about 11 moves in our 5 years of marriage. That's an average of 2 moves a year. That's absurd. It's unbelievable. And most of those moves were on our own. Honestly, we're just like, we need a bigger apartment now. We have a baby. Let's gather up all our friends, buy everybody pizza, and move over. And sometimes they were military moves. Not too many times, but a few times. If you've moved with the military before, you know that they go out of their way to make what is a veritable pain as pleasant as they can. They have a full moving service come in and pack, box it, ship it, unpack it, put it away, assemble everything, and they pay for it, and then they give you like an allowance just for the extra, eating out you'll have to do in the hotel rooms and all that kind of inconvenient stuff. So it was as pleasant as it could be. And yet, if you've moved, you know that it's still a mess, right? So our story here was that we expected to get our belongings tomorrow. We expected to have all of this stuff you see around me now tomorrow. And so I thought I would have a full week where we had the keys, there was no rush. I could kind of plan things, walk around the rooms, get things ready. Instead, I was hustling hard. I heard, less than 24 hours in advance that our stuff was going to be there, over a week before we thought it was going to be. So I was trying to get the water turned on, get the electricity turned on so we could do the inspection and the walkthrough and everything else. And it was kind of one of those crazy things. And then, my husband hadn't arrived yet. I had kind of come on ahead, but he wasn't here yet. And so I was like prepping things without him and taking orders from him over the phone. It was a bit nutso. But that's just how it is. And so what I want you to know is that moving with ease and grace, mostly, part of it's the planning, right? Figuring out, as best you can, where's the best place to live, really researching the community, starting to reach out to friends who maybe you already know in that area, saying, hey, I'm so excited to hang out with you again, leaving your friends and your favorite places in the place you're leaving well, but also knowing that there's so much that you can't plan and prepare for, and that even if you do, it can all be thrown up in the air, and that ease and grace is mostly a choice. It's mostly a choice to have an attitude of, it's all a mess, so let's raise a glass and keep on working. Let's throw our hair back in a ponytail, roll up our sleeves, chug some water and make this happen. So decide to have an attitude of ease and grace if you're in any kind of transition period. Oh, I hear my little one waking up. Time for me to wrap this up and go down there. And realize that some things will work out beautifully, celebrate them. Some things will work out crazily, not so beautifully, laugh at them. Choose ease and grace and realize just what an opportunity it is to have a fresh start. It's a decision to see things as an exciting new beginning rather than a big chaotic, oh my gosh, miserable mess, okay? So, yes, it is a choice, isn't it, Lauren? Everything is, right? All attitude is. So, Julia needs me to go help her have some more ease and grace, and so I better sign off. But I love you ladies. Can't wait to give you more of a tour of this space, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.